There's a really expensive and common mistake that leaders make, and it's a shame, and that is promoting a high performing employee into a management role far too early. Now, this can be a really expensive mistake to make, and it's really common. So, someone's performing really well, they are an absolute star, their numbers are brilliant, their performance is exceptional, they're a real pleasure to have on the team. So, naturally, leaders often go, okay, well, you're really good at that, here's your next move, and they promote that person into a role where they've got more responsibility, they're in charge of others. But when it goes wrong, you not only cause more problems that you have to fix, but you lose that star that you had in the company, and your relationship with them will probably never be the same again. So it can be a very expensive mistake. In this video, I'm going to explain to you 3 things that you can do to avoid making that mistake. And look, if you've got someone on your team who's absolutely smashing it, then you've got to approach with care. All right, you want to keep that person involved in the right way, you want to empower that person, and you want to protect the business so that you don't make those mistakes. All right, so let's get into it. The first thing to do is to stop looking at promotion strictly as a structural thing. So job roles, job packages, offices, titles, and that sort of thing. And instead, start looking at promotion as an ability shift. We should be able to look at that person and ask ourselves, how good is that person at developing other people? Because as soon as you give someone a leadership role, a part of their life is now going to have to be dedicated towards developing others for the good of the business. That is essential. And so assessing that ability, how good is that person at developing others? How good is that person working under pressure? How good is that person working alone? How much do I trust that person? It's not just about performance. It's not just about how well they do their job, and therefore it makes sense structurally. It's about looking at their abilities as a whole. That's the very first thing. Second thing to do before you promote anybody is actually start developing their leadership skills. Start teaching them communication strategies. Start opening their mind towards their own personal development. Start teaching them how to influence others and help them be better at working under pressure. These are just some examples, and actually this is where I come in, because that's what I do when I'm delivering my training to managers that really want to be the best leaders that they can be. I will focus on communication, I will focus on working under pressure, I will focus on influence and the openness to their own personal development. So develop that leadership within somebody before you make it official. And one really great way of doing this, like, why stop with them? Allow everybody in the organization to thrive in a culture where personal development is accepted and encouraged. So develop everybody's leadership skills. You'll be pleasantly surprised. I've had it in the past with teams that I've built where I've seen something in someone, no matter how young or old they are, no matter how long they've been involved in the business, and I'll go, wow, there was a real strong display of leadership there. There's a lot of potential, and I will feed that potential so that when the time comes where I can make a promotion within the company, I know that that person already has a good foundation of leadership skills. So don't sleep on that. Make sure that there's a culture of self-development within your team, and start looking for clues and then develop those skills within your people. Third and final tip here is, when it comes to measuring your performance, avoid measuring individual performance before measuring the success of teams and the organization itself. Start measuring success as a group. Focus less on individual performance, although it's still important and you should still conduct one-to-ones and set targets and everything else. But the success of the group, the team, the organization should be the number one measure of success. That way it will remove your mind from this whole sort of individual tracking, this whole league table approach to who's the best in the business. Because remember, the big problem here is you take someone who's great at their job, put them in a leadership role, and the whole thing crashes. So instead, look at success as a group, understand who has played what role in order to get that success, ask questions, figure out what people think about their teammates and their work colleagues, and understand what the picture looks like as a group. Develop high-performing teams, high-performing groups, high-performing departments before focusing solely on high-performing individuals. It will serve you so much more over time doing things that way, which is why I focus on it so much when I deliver my training. I will work on groups, group dynamics. I will look at the personality styles of a team, management teams, departments, figure out how I can help them understand each other, understand their personality style and their communication styles to work together to achieve their goals and therefore achieve the goals of the business. So here's the final point on this. Avoid promoting people because they are good at their job, and instead promote people that are good at helping others be good at their job. It's a costly mistake, and as soon as you take your eye off the ball, you leave that person to it, and that's something that you want to be able to do, right? When you appoint someone as a leader, they will start creating conflict, friction, and all kinds of problems if they haven't got the ability to lead. Doesn't matter how good they are at the job that they used to have, they need to be an efficient leader, otherwise it won't work. And when you get it right, by the way, you as the leader of the business get more time for yourself, more choices. You can build something that then you can free yourself from a little bit. And that's one of the main reasons why people get into business, really, isn't it? To have that choice. So you can get it right, and I'm sure you've had your experiences, good ones, bad ones. But look, if you've enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to the channel. I make videos like this all of the time. And if you feel like there's a place for me to work with you and your management team, then I'm available for that. Email me, tommy@tommygentleman.com, and we can have a conversation. But thanks for your time. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you again in the next one.